or one, whoever. I am going to try to set up this camera here. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work, but let's try it out. So, what's going on, YouTube? I think I have this kind of set up. There we go. I was trying to do this with my laptop, but it didn't work out so well. And now here I am, kind of unprepared, but hope you all are doing well. I'm going to go to my YouTube on my computer and see if I can read some of this stuff. So what's going on? It's a pleasure. We got Harrisburg, PA, and I don't know, Big Pilot. I think that's Adam. Who knows? He'll be hackling me. What's up, David? It's been a while since I've been on here, as you guys could tell. It's been what, almost a year. So I got my computer up now, so I might be able to read some of the comments and try to go from there. So yeah, this year's been pretty crazy. I've been all over the place. My close friends kind of know what's been going on and where I've been, but just decided to kind of have a live broadcast with you guys and talk to you. You guys can ask questions. I can try to talk about whatever, to whatever's out there, but we're in a crazy time right now, so it's been pretty wild. I'll try to keep up with some of these comments and we'll go from there, but I'm going to keep just looking down here at my computer and kind of go from there. But yeah, David, I am still in the Challenger. I've been in it 3 years. Next month it'll be 36 months. I started in May of 2017, and here it is 2020, and I go to Sim Recurrent actually in 2 weeks. I'll be going for my 6-month recurrent training. Get this all fixed up here. And it's been pretty fun. I've been on family leave and disability and all that stuff, so that's kind of why you guys haven't seen me here for a long time. I was making some videos, and then what happened last year, my brother, he got really sick. He had a stroke in January. And then about 3 weeks after that, my mom had a heart attack. And the heart attack was really bad, very severe. They tried to do a procedure and they messed up. And it kind of put her in like intensive care, ICU. She was in the hospital for 41 straight days. So I took leave from that because, family is more important than anything. So I really focused on that. My mom was very sick. Even when she got out of the hospital, we were going to the hospital like every couple days because there was a lot of issues going on there from the heart attack, and we had to teach her how to do everything. So it was quite a stressful thing, but boy, she's a strong person. She doesn't give up, I can tell you that. And she has a lot of willpower. So we've been blessed with that. My dad is there taking care of my mom. My sister was there, my brother, and my brother was trying to take care of himself also. But we're all back pretty good. And then after we got mom squared away in May, I was out working, going a trip, and my appendix ruptured. So I had a ruptured appendix out in California, and I thought I just had a stomach bug. Flew the next day, went out to all the way to Teterboro from the West Coast. And the guy I was flying with, he eventually talked me into going to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and yeah, I had a busted appendix. So spent 5 days in the Hackensack Hospital in Teterboro, and man, it's pretty scary because I waited a long time to go to the hospital just because, like I said, I thought I had a food poisoning, and it wasn't real painful or anything. It was just uncomfortable. So I did get to do that, and good thing is my sister, she came out. She was there with me the whole time, 5 days. Flew home, had to go through a whole bunch of stuff there, and while I was in the hospital, they were doing all these tests, and I have heart disease in my family, so they were like, well, you have early stage of heart disease, you have early stage of kidney failure or something like that. You have a fatty liver. At that time, I weighed 207 pounds, and you may have liver cancer. So I, it was just going and going, and they kept throwing stuff at me. Every day it was something new. They just throw a whole bunch of stuff on me. You might have cancer, so you might have to, you need to go home and get checked, right? And I'm like, man. And I'm sitting there with my sister, and I actually, my friend Terry, she came to visit me, John Schleifer, um, and I had another co-pilot, or co-worker come and visit. I was in Teterboro, but man, my sister and I were sitting there listening to all this. We're like, man, I don't know what to do. So anyway, I got home, and it was pretty crazy because I got home, and then that day was, I believe, the 27th of May. I laid down in bed. I live in Xenia, Ohio. Right when I laid down, shut the lights out, a minute later, tornado sirens went off. And that's when all the big tornadoes went right through Dayton. And they missed Xenia, but literally it was less than a mile from my hangar. So it's the same line of tornadoes. Pretty big deal. What's going on from the Bermuda? Man, pleasure. It's good to see everyone from all over the world hanging out, listening to me chit chat and all this, and figure out where I've been. But so anyway, we end up. I come home, and I got tested for a whole bunch of tests like MRIs for liver cancer and different stuff like that, and I didn't have it, thank goodness, but I still had my appendix in. They did not have a surgery and take them out. So, what's going on in Ireland and Canada, and all the way from Canton, Ohio. So, it's nice to see you all. So, um, but yeah, I end up getting checked and tested, and I didn't have cancer, so I was pretty good with that. I did have a fatty liver. I weighed 200 and 7 pounds. So it was time to change up some stuff and change my diet. And that's what happened. I kind of just changed up everything. So you guys look at me now, I'm 50 pounds lighter. A lot of people say, oh man, you look a lot different. I definitely am. My clothes don't fit. I have to go buy new clothes and different things. So over the summer, I still did a lot of biplane rides. In the new standard, I didn't do a lot of flying in the travel air. I went to Oshkosh. I actually videoed a whole bunch of stuff in Oshkosh. Um, we had a good time. Andrew King, he has a travel air now. I flew up. I had to do a balloon festival in Middletown, Ohio. So I left there, went up to Broadhead, Wisconsin, spent the night, met with Andrew, and then we flew into Oshkosh all together. There was a flight of four, and we had a good time. We got to park there. Actually, like I said, I made a lot of video stuff, and I've just never edited it. And I kind of got just burnt out with all the stuff with my family and myself, and I didn't know, pretty much do any more, editing and taking the time to do that. I really want to try to just focus on my health. That was the main thing. So, yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. And then on top of all that, in January, I had surgery. had my appendix taken out and then my gallbladder taken out, and that was pretty interesting. So when I got that taken out, felt a lot better, and about 4 days later, I started having some hemorrhaging issues. So I had to deal with that, and it I dealt with that, came back to work, and then if you guys seen it, I I got tested. I wasn't feeling well. I got tested for the COVID-19, tested positive for that. So here I am. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can do something here. I think we can do that. Yeah, the snake man, I had to erase him. He kept making stupid comments. So anyway, I tested positive for this COVID-19, and so I was home. I was pretty freaked out over all that, and I stayed at home and kind of hung out and recovered. And I said, you know what, I'll make a video about that, let people see it. It the media has, it's a very scary virus that is going around, but the main thing is, I was scared to death. And as I was pulling through it and everything, I just want to kind of document and let everybody see that there's a little bit different. There's another side of it where people actually live, and I don't have to go to the hospital, and it didn't have to be so extreme. So that's really why I have not been around. I've really just been trying to focus on everything, all this health and everything. So we can talk about flying. Yeah, I haven't made any more corporate videos. The company I work for, they made me take down the corporate videos. I did that for like a year and a half, 2 years. I don't know how long I made them. Anyway, I started, doing that stuff, and then let me see here. Once I started, like, making them and getting, I guess, popular, they decided they didn't want me to do them anymore. And I couldn't fight with it. I'm not going to argue with that. I felt that they were good and very tasteful, very positive, and stuff like that. And you guys probably agree. It was fun. That's why I did it. It was enjoyable, something fun to do. Guys I flew with, they enjoyed it. Most of them, and it gave a different perspective. And actually, there's quite a few guys that got hired at the company. I spent a lot of time like talking to a lot of people like that, so it was pretty bad. I spent more time than I should have been probably trying to talk to them and everything, because I'm not a recruiter, but I was probably the best recruiter they had. And that's just the way it is. But they do have their own videos now. They come out with their own YouTube channel, so you guys can check it out. It's not like mine, but you know what? It's all good. So corporate stuff is still the same. It's a job. I've been off work just because of being sick and stuff like that, but they're working us pretty hard now. With this virus going around, everything's been very slow. I've been lucky enough to, today was my first day back to work. And well, I appreciate that, Lawrence. I think my channel was pretty good too. I really enjoyed it and had great followers for especially the corporate stuff. You guys wanted to see all that and see that life. And I was pretty lucky to be able to share it that long. And like I said, it was just a shift in powers and, lawyers and stuff like that. So I had to take it down. And they didn't have control over it. So that's one of the reasons I think that, they did it. But like I said, you guys can go see their stuff. They got some pretty interesting videos they produced. I I'm gonna still stick to what I've been doing. You know, I'll try to do more this year. Obviously, I'll do more barnstorming stuff. Right now, the new standard's getting a new engine on it. The engine's off. The travel layer, it's just sitting in the back of the hangar. It's stuck in the hangar because the new standard is sitting back there. The Champ is flying. I actually flew on Monday. Once I got off quarantine, I went and did that. So I probably flew about 200 hours in the biplane last year. I fly about 1,600 people a year in the airplane from May to October. And another thing, last year was not as fun just because, you know, I was sick and dealing with family issues. I didn't really go and tell people my personal business. So some of it become not fun. Customers and things were disappointed. I'd make a schedule and then I'd forget, or my mom might be in the hospital and I forget to cancel. So it was a lot of stress. I don't have other pilots really helping me here, so it was a lot of work, you know. But anyway, let me look at some of their stuff here. I'm just trying to read through some of this. With pilot, I appreciate that. I will make my own videos. Like I said, I'll make some more barnstorming stuff this year. I did shoot a lot of video stuff last year. I just never edited. So I got some stuff of a real unique Taylor craft that Andrew flew in. So we did a little video there. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Sholomo. Let me see. Would you work for a private family flying a TBM 940? You know, if I lost my job, I would. Yeah, you know what? I'm not really sure what I would do. You know, times are pretty rough right now, and you know, might get furloughed if the economy stays down. You know, if I lost my job, the good thing about, you know, one thing, I've been single, pretty good saving money. I think I could actually live. I could do pretty well, and then I have another side of flying that I might be able to go back to and stuff like that as a government contractor. Yeah, Jacob, the old airplanes all under ADSB. My new standard does. So I have a you know, transponder and electrical system in the new standard. Traveler doesn't. So I will have to put ADSB in it. I'm not sure when I will or if I will. I'm kind of up in the air what I'm going to do this year with the biplane business. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going to all these events. One reason is insurance. Insurance went up 30% last year, and then they're saying that it's going to probably go up another 30%. So I'll be paying like $15,000 a year for my airplanes. For me to operate with this COVID-19 going on, short season, I don't know what it's going to look like for this season, so I'm not sure. Yeah, light and sporty guy, you're right. The editing does suck because, you know, you can spend like 6, 7, 8 hours on a video, and I'm not that good at it. And when I just did this video, when I had this coronavirus, man, I had to open it up, and I was like, I had to remember how to even upload a video to the timeline. So it took me a few minutes just to figure that all out. Let's see what Phil talking live. Phil not flying as much right now. Economy's, you know, obviously nobody can go anywhere. So hopefully when they open things back up here, you know, I don't know. I predict maybe here in the next couple weeks, things are going to pick up for us. So it'll be good. Yeah, I miss doing the videos too. I miss doing those corporate videos. They were fun. You know, honestly, I'd take like a minute or two to shoot a scene, and then I could piece all that stuff together on the editing, and it actually would go pretty quick, you know, to do those. you're just shooting like 30-second clips. So you take 30 or 40 clips and put it together and make a 6 to 15 minute video or something like that. So yeah, I did. I caught the COVID-19, the Corona. So I think it was the last week that I was flying. I just, it's hard to really say, but I'd say I got it from work. Out on the road, going to different places. I think the economy is going to, I don't know about the economy, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot more reduced cases of people being infected. And I think they're going to, that's going to help open up, the city or the country, the world. But I tell you right now, with the whole world shut down, I mean, you guys are seeing it. Pilots, flight schools are closing already. That's a big issue. Looking at the airline market or the professional airline market, one thing, companies aren't going to be able to, they don't want airplanes because we're going to have now airlines going out of business, worldwide. So then companies can go buy those old airplanes or those used airplanes instead of going to buy brand new aircraft. The pilot now, there's a big pilot shortage. I don't think that's going to happen now, just because right now we're so hurt on the market. We got some airlines that's going out of business, so now those pilots are going to be looking for jobs. It's just the growth is not where it was, honestly, 3 months ago, and that's what kind of sucks about everything right now. I think everything's up in the air. All the aerospace stocks or businesses, they're kind of stagnant right now. Boeing, they just got a beating, right, with the MAX issues, and then on top of that, the coronavirus issues. So Boeing just has not had any good luck, at all over the past year, and it's been about a year since Boeing started going sideways. So I just read an article or got an article. I haven't read it all, but 150 orders canceled there. So, man, it's really hard to say what's going to happen with the airline market. Pretty much every company has stopped hiring. They're furloughing. Some people are furloughing, and it's really up in the air. So I hope I don't get furloughed, and if I do, I'll be out here hanging out at my hangar quite a bit. So, Gibbs, appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed those videos. Hopefully, you guys might have downloaded one or two of them because, like I said, if you didn't catch this, my company made me take them down. So, couldn't have anything that had my company involved or whatever. So, what I might do, I might do some traveling videos, but I won't be able to show any videos of the airplane, and that's kind of the whole fun part about it, right? Getting to see what the airplane looks like. You guys get to dream about, possibly this is what you can be doing and flying and stuff like that. That's what I think I would enjoy. Yeah, Kevin, I do think it's going to take off again. I just don't know when. That's the big thing. Is like, how long is it going to take to recover from this worldwide epidemic here? Would the company permit me to interview other pilots and stories? Um, yeah, I can do whatever I want. So I go to show their stuff, right? So I thought about that. I would like to do a podcast. I think it'd be cool to do a podcast at the same time. I've talked about having some friends here come in and talk, and we could just do like interview talk, and let you guys hear different stories and different stuff like that. So I definitely would want to do that, and to me that's easier, especially if I can just turn on the camera, do an interview, talk. It's not a lot of editing, and I can just put clips up on YouTube, if I can learn how to do the audio part and I can just upload it to a podcast, like iTunes or something like that, and let people download it, that'd be a lot easier than really just trying to be somewhat creative with videos. And I'm not really all that creative with it. So I don't know. I've been thinking about it more time. Maybe this summer, I'll probably be able to come up with some pretty cool stuff. The podcast would be pretty sweet. I need to. You guys listen to Pilot to Pilot? So I know Pilot, really cool dude, and man, his his podcast is really grown. It's really big, and his personality. That's why is where it's at, because he's a great personality. He has a lot of good interviews. So you guys could check him out if you haven't. With Nancy Bradshaw, Nancy and I, we talk here and there. We don't talk a lot, but she's new, flying with a regional. She's been there maybe 8 months now. So she went into this, and then this coronavirus hit, and I have quite a few friends like at PSA and stuff like that. So they're seeing a huge, a real crazy market right now. And Nancy and I, we talk quite a bit about different things, and yeah, she's really cool, and she's I wish I had her motivation to try to do all these videos, because she does a lot of stuff, man. So Whip Pilot, yeah, you do have a face for radio. I know Whip Pilot. He's not the most attractive guy in the world. Yep. And I don't even look at guys. So, and what's up, Cam? Yeah, I'm feeling good, buddy. So I hope you're doing well. And Cameron we did a live video with his brother once, but Cameron comes here and flies the Champ, and he helps me barnstorm around. I met Cameron when he's like 15 years old. Now he's like 22 or something. He's taller than I am. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Jeremy, you call me whenever, man. Usually, if I'm not busy, I'm pretty open to anybody calling and stuff like that. I don't want to be bugged all the time, but if you guys want to chat and talk, just how you can text me and stuff here and there. I've been really just trying to. It's hard to explain, but try to take time for myself. I wasn't doing that really for like the last 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, and it kind of just come to a head, and I got sick. I had this is a couple years ago. I had a girlfriend and stuff like that, and that's kind of what hurt the relationship quite a bit. Is that I never took any time to do anything. So, yeah. So I will think about trying to do like a little podcast. I've thought about it before. I need to get with Pilot to Pilot or somebody that would be willing to help. So it might be sacred ground, They might not want to tell me all the good stuff about it. Anyway, I've been working on my hangar here. If you guys can see, I got a whole bunch of different pictures hanging up, and I got some, Russell Smith World War I stuff that I've had, and I got some pretty cool Michael Cheval stuff, and he really makes some creative stuff. This stuff here is, if you can see, I was on the cover of different magazines, and I had it mounted there, so it's something different. Here's another thing. Have you guys belong to AOPA? I'm not on social media at least as much as I used to be, but January issue, you guys can see that. This is the Turbine magazine, so Turbine edition, January, and you come here and it's pretty cool. So it's featured in there. fly fast, fly slow. Kind of gives you like my whole history of what's really went on with my career. So I feel pretty blessed to be to have that, and it's pretty article. So it like I said, it kind of gives a nice brief description of what's really what I've done my whole career from starting out to um, flying for USA Jet, um, flying corporate. Then I got furloughed, and then I actually flew as a government contractor. But yeah, man, it's you can't really tell, but if you have this magazine, check those pants out. Those pants used to fit tight, and I lost all that weight, and these things look like clown pants on that I had on. It's kind of funny. And then I don't have a calendar here, but May, I'll show you maybe on the next video, May 2020 or 2020. Andrew and I, we are the featured picture in the Kimmel Aviation calendar. So I'm in the new standard, he's in his travel air, and we're about 2 miles up the road here in formation. That was the hardest formation flying I've ever done. It was real turbulent, and Andrew and I, we usually fly formation like we're really tight. We couldn't get that tight because it was just bouncing all over the place. Bill, how I lost weight, I went whole food, plant-based, vegan. It's, you know, a lot of people ask, and I tell them, and they get all scared and nervous. So, but yeah, whole food, plant-based. I did it really for health reasons, heart disease that's in my family. I don't want to have issues like that. I had a fatty liver that they told me about in May, possible cancer. And so I changed up my entire diet. And I've been really strict and pretty true. My friends can't believe it because I used to go to like Longhorn, get the, if you guys like Longhorn, get the Outlaw, okay? Medium rare, baked potato loaded, and a salad with dressing. That's what I did. And then we went and got ice cream. That's why I weighed 207 pounds. And you know what's ironic? Um, is it slow mo? Sholo mo? I'm sorry. But when Nancy Bradshaw and I did our video, and it was crazy about it. When we did our video, you know, I was eating ice cream. One of the guys or girls, whoever, somebody commented and says, "You keep that up, you won't be making too many more videos, right?" Man, it's like ironic because it wasn't much longer after that, maybe 6, 7 months. Here I'm in the hospital, ruptured appendix, you know, on my deathbed, really. And it's because of my diet. So that's why I changed. But yeah, thanks. What do you guys want to talk about? Anything else? I don't want to keep this going on and on, but I got a lot of spring cleaning to do. I have mowed my runway. You know, I got a grass runway here, so I rolled it, mowed it, I aerated it all this week once I got off quarantine. Yeah, and then the new standard, trying to get the engine on, so been messing with that with Matt. Matt's been around. The FAA, I mean, I've been seen by the FAA more, you know, like the last 6 months, it's like they have nothing else to do. They come here and inspected the airplanes once, and now I'm doing a drug test audit. It's just been pretty crazy, and it's whatever. Matt Z, have I ever hosted a fly-in? Yes, I have. I sometimes host little barbecues here at my hangar at the Dewey Drome, but you can look it up. It's barnstorming.com or barnstormingcarnival.com. Yeah, I have hosted that event. I started that event in 2013, and this will be the 7th or 8th year that I've hosted that event at Springfield Beckley Airport. I don't think I'm gonna do it this year because of this COVID, you know, virus. So, yeah, the flying's been pretty cool. I can show you here real quick. Oh, maybe. This is what the poster looks like. There's a lot of glare there, but that's I don't know what year this is. I never put the years on it, but I have a whole bunch of posters hanging up here, and each year it's a different poster, and each year we get different airplanes. It's an antique fly-in. All right. We're probably talking about get back into RC. Yeah, actually, believe it or not, man, I pulled out my radio last week, and I got a Splendor pattern plane. I got that ready to go. I need to get some batteries, and then I plan on getting more RC stuff here this year and start flying around. Kevin, you used to fly out of Springfield with your dad. When was that? How many years ago? One of these days, I promise. I'm not sure when, but I will. So yeah, I think we're about done. Here's I took a kid for a biplane ride last year. Young kid, check it out. End up making this or drawing it for me and giving it to me. So him and his dad went for a ride together. I think this is why I do biplane rides. Barnstorming around, because you meet people from all over the world, really, and it's really unbelievable the experience that you get to share with people and see and feel, all these different things. It's really cool. I mean, people, you build relationships. I've flown people before. There's a couple in Indiana. We've flown them, I would say, at least 15 times. I mean, it's just really unbelievable. And it's like family, really. So there's people that live right around here. There's married couples. They'll come here just to take a ride because they want to see the sunset. So it's pretty awesome. Your dad moved away. Okay. Yeah, an Aircoup is a pretty cool airplane. I've flown in an Aircoup years ago, and it's pretty unique. Gabriel, thanks. I feel pretty good. Like I said, I've lost all this weight, and man, I can get around a lot better. I'm not winded or things like that, and I can exercise a lot easier. But I can talk about that later. I might start a new channel just about my dieting stuff. I'm just reading comments here. Yep. Whatever this is, Bitcliff. Yeah, I went over to see Peter just the other day, and he's building another airplane. So Peter Treepole's building another plane. He actually has. I can take you guys in the hangar real quick, just show you. He has an ultralight here. It's sitting here. He had it at the Springfield airport. They moved all these guys out of the airport, and they were in these old hangars because they're going to build new hangars. Well, they did that. He got kicked out. I let him come here, and then they tore down the hangars, and guess what? They can't build the new hangars. It's just crazy. So anyway, I hope that he gets it out of here soon. My hangar's packed. Here, we'll go take a quick look, and then we'll kind of call it here, okay? Oops. Let me turn the camera around. Like I said, I have to do a lot of spring cleaning here. But there's the old Champeroo. And I've been getting the mowers and stuff ready. This has been a lot of work. I've had some trouble with the battery and stuff like that, but I've been mowing. Got the tractor going, and I was spraying earlier with dandelions. But here's Peter's. This is Peter Treepole's ultralight. Peter's always tinkering with stuff. I love his, check it out, his airport diagram. Oh, man. So, but yeah, this is called a Airline 103. And what I need to make him do is come out here and help me clean this hangar up, because it is definitely filthy. Every spring it's like this. There's the old engine that just came off the standard. And then got a new addition here. This is a sign for Flyboys Deli, and they closed shop over in Dayton. So I'm keeping this sign. This is on top of their building. I'm keeping it until they get their new building going, I guess. There's the $1 Pete and pole. And then here's the new standard. And you guys can see here, the engine's off, but it's about ready to go back on. We got a new engine there. So it's not bad, you know, only $33,000 for a brand new engine, okay? With a 1,000-hour TBO. And then there's Travel Air. It's still being winterized, but cover it up, you know, it's cold at night. I usually put heat on it and then put these blankets on and then run a light in the cowling just to keep a little bit of heat so everything doesn't freeze up. That's the purpose of that. I don't know if I have ever showed you guys like what it looks like inside. It's strictly a ride airplane. Just you can see people here. Then here's the cockpit where the pilot flies from. There's the stick down there. Magnetos. Everyone talks about glass cockpits. This is mahogany wood. So yep, this is 1929. So there's a fuel tank here. This is 40 gallons, and up here is 26. So this thing can fly long. It's about a 4.5 hour flight. You can fly the airplane. The standard is only a 46 gallon tank. It's a Stearman tank. And then the Champ, you know, I've been flying this thing for 20 some years. 24 years, I think. Just do a quick little walk around with all this stuff here, but this is normal, a Ronca Champ, 1947. So these built in Middletown, Ohio. And it really hasn't changed since I've been flying it. It's the guy that you might have seen him in a video or two, Eldon Reed. I bought this airplane from Eldon, but I met Eldon when I was 20 years old. He was a farmer that lived around here, but he passed away a year and a half ago. And I don't know, this airplane has a lot of sentimental value. And then, like I said, this is a Continental 220. And it will go on there eventually. Another thing, inspecting front cockpit. If you guys want to look at that real quick, it's this is what it looks like in the front with no seats. So this is what Matt, main thing, you can see the tubing here. You have to inspect all this stuff because all the strength is off of, like this joint here, landing gear is there. So a lot of, you make sure there's no cracks or anything like this. And these are all aluminum. This is aluminum L-track. The airplanes This is what makes this new standard unique. It wasn't aluminum or steel tubing. It's all aluminum. Yep. And then here is the cockpit. I always put a piece of paper here. That's how many people I fly per flight. Then you can count it at the end of the day. I got my my maps there. I got another one here. So, all right. I think I've bored you guys enough. Let me see if you guys have any comments or anything, and then we'll call it good. I've been chatting here for like 40 some minutes. Cameron, if you're still in here, there's always plenty of room for you to come and help clean. So, let me put this back here. All right. So let me take a look at this. I have a computer down here, so I'm able to look at the comments a lot. Man, hello from Spain. I hope you guys are doing well. You know, everybody around the world with this coronavirus, please be safe. It's pretty crazy. Gerald, thanks. It's really nice to hear that. Day 5, no meat. Man, that's great to hear, man. That's my sister. She went vegan or whole food plant based with me also. So we kind of, my sister and I, and my brother. I mean, we're all very close. But my brother or sister and I, we went. She started going whole food plant based also. Her husband's doing the same thing now. Yeah, you see Ace. You'd like to get a tailwheel endorsement. Kevin, where do you live? If you live around here, you know, Red Stewart is the best place to go for a tailwheel endorsement. I don't usually have a lot of time to teach a lot of people, but you know, at times I do. That reminds me, I gotta get my CFI renewed. It's due at the end of the month. How long is my runway? It's 1,580 feet. It is not that long. So it I tell people it's long enough to keep the riffraff out. So I don't get like bonanzas and you know people won't come in here with you know 182s and stuff like that. Oh, Kevin, you live in Fairborn, man. Yeah, you need to come out here or something and hang out, and then Red Stewart would be the best place to probably go get your endorsement if you can get scheduled in there. So, all right, man, I think I'm going to call it quits. I think we talked about everything. I'm sorry I haven't been around in like a year. Hope you guys understand. I'll try to keep stuff going. I really appreciate you guys watching everything. And to me, I think you probably think it's boring at times, but you probably love it. I do it so much. I'm doing it every day. It's kind of like almost the same thing over and over. If you're out here in the summer in Ohio, Dayton area, call me. Good folk and old time biplane rides. You can look me up. Give me a call. That's my business phone, my cell phone. That's all of it. So, and then other than that, you guys be safe if you're flying, especially if you're traveling around. Be safe with this coronavirus. You know, until then, I'm gonna have to say blue skies because I want you guys to continue being safe. All right. Talk to you soon. I'll try to get a video out. You know, maybe in a couple days. I got some biplane footage. I might make up something. So, all right, guys. Take care. Bye.